For our invisible zip video, I'm going to make a cushion. To start off with, we need the right hand side of the zipper foot. So I'll just put that in. If you've got a machine where you have one zipper foot for both sides, then that means you need to move your needle to one side or the other. When you look at an invisible zip, there's a flat side and a side where the teeth are. So that's the flat side there. And then on the other side, the teeth are curled over. See how I can pull those teeth out and roll them out? That's the side you sew on. So we're grabbing our first half of our cushion. And I'll zip the zip up just so you can see which way it goes on. It goes face down like that, see? Unzip that part there, and we're going to line up the edge of the tape of the zip with the edge of the overlocking. Now this first row of stitching is just to keep the zip onto the fabric. We're not trying to get close or anything like that, we're just attaching it to the fabric. And you stop about 5 centimeters in from the end. Now we go back up again to the top, and you're going to roll the teeth out. See how I'm pulling that across with my finger? And you use the zipper foot to push that edge over and get your stitching as close as you can to the teeth. If you sort of swing it over a little bit to the right, it helps get nice and close. And stopping about there. Now I'll zip that up so then you can see how to line it up with the other side. So grabbing the other side of the cushion cover, face side down, right sides together, you pull that tape out, and we want to make sure that the ends of the pieces are lined up, and we're going to stick a little pin in right there. Go down the other end, do the same thing. Line up your pieces of fabric first, and then you pull the tape of the zip out and pin it down. Little pin in there. And once again, this row of stitching is just to attach the zip to the fabric. It's not trying to get close, it's just holding it on there so you don't need as many pins. So we undo the zip again. You have to sew it when it's undone. Flip it over, get it facing the right way. There we go. I'm trying to keep the whole garment or the whole item in the frame of the picture so you can see it. There we go. So 5 centimeters in from the end, and just holding it there so we can get the zip attached to the fabric. Lining up the zipper tape with the edge of the overlocking. So we go back again, and once again we roll those teeth out and get our second row of stitching nice and close. Because you've done that first row of stitching, you don't need any pins. So I'll zip it up and I'll show you just how close the stitching was, because when you turn it over you can't even see the zip. Once if that's pressed in a garment, you wouldn't even notice there was a zip there. So the last part to do is just stitching up those two ends. Invisible zips honestly are so fast. So I'll stick some pins in here just to indicate where I'm sewing next. Making sure our ends are all lined up. We want our stitching to line up with where the end of the zip is, which was about 5 centimeters in from the edge of the fabric. So now I'm switching the foot over to the left hand side. This allows us to get close to the zip from the other side. So we pull the zip out of our way and we get our fabric under the needle. It's our 2 centimeter seam allowance. Back tack here, keep it strong. And pulling our zip out of the way, we get as close as we can to the zip. See, this is why we have the half foot, so we can get nice and close. And see? All nice and neat. Now I like to do a little back tack or bar tack here just to keep it strong. Sometimes when you're putting your insert inside the cushion, that part can have a bit of stress on it and can come undone. So if you do a little bar tack, it keeps it nice and strong. Now going down to the other end. You've got to keep that zipper pull out of the way, otherwise the foot can't get close enough. See how I'm working out where to start our stitching? It's a little bit into the zip. Get the pin out the way, pull the tape out of the way, and back tack as close as you can to where that zip is. And that's it, all done. Just another little bar tack on that end. Make sure it's all sitting flat underneath. It's a nylon or plastic kind of zip, so you can just stitch over the end of it. And there's our zip all installed. All that's left to do now is have it open and stitch around the rest of the cushion. You can see here, this is a good example of where it's a good idea to overlock everything first. This way I don't have to go back around now and overlock any of those edges because it's all done, all nice and neat. And there we are. We've got a nice cushion all done. And there it is on display.